Hello and welcome to second look. Well, it's the second part of a second look Beyond Shakespeare Exploring session. Or well, it's a Beyond Shakespeare Exploring session, and it's a second look, and it's the second part of the second look. So I'm not confused at all. This is the second look of Ralph Roister Doister or Rafe Roister Doister, and we're here with these lovely people who were in the first part. I was absent, unfortunately, but I know this play quite well, and it's a lot of fun. And there's even more fun to do today. We're starting from Act 4, Scene 1, and I feel like I should introduce everybody because some of us have different parts as well. So let me just find the list of things. Reading Truepenny and Harpax, we have.
In Suffolk.
Reading Mumblecrust again, we have.
Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm in the Northwestern United States.
And you have guests, which that you've.
Yes, I have puppies, but you can't see them right now.
We're not allowed the puppies. Okay, that's not fair. And reading Tib, we have
Lois in London.
Reading Custance, we have
Sarah in London.
Reading Trusty, we have Trusty. I can't remember his surname. Trusty. Anyway, we have
Kyle in Tucson.
Reading Merrygreek, we have
Aliki in Athens.
It's such a bad pun. Anyway, yeah. Reading Roister Doister again, we have
Sarah Blake, unmuted in Germany.
It's always good to unmute. Reading Ally or Alyface and Goodluck, we have
just Goodluck today, Mark Pajor, and I'm in the Midwest United States.
I'm reading, sorry, apologies, we rearranged last minute, so yeah, this is why reading does not work. And reading Alyface, we have, last but not least,
Susan in Tudor city of Norwich.
Ooh, in there. There are many places I have not been. I'm Eric Karoulla, your host for today, and I'll be reading pretty much anything else that's left over, which is basically Suresby and Doughty. So I will find my script before it explodes. And yes, without further ado, Act 4, Scene 1. Is there any man but I, Sim Suresby, alone, that would have taken such an enterprise as him upon? In such an outrageous tempest this was, such a dangerous gulf of the sea to pass. I think verily Neptune's mighty good ship was angry with some that was in our ship, and for the honesty in which in me he found, I think for the other's sake we had been drowned. But fie on that servant which for his master's wealth will stick for to hazard both his life and his health. My master, Gowan Goodluck, after me a day, because of the weather, thought best his ship to stay. And now that I have the rough surges so well surpassed, God grant I may find all things safe here at last. Then will I think all my travail well spent. Now the first point whereof my master hath me sent is to salute Christian Custance, his wife espoused, whom he tendereth no less than his life. I must see how it is with her, well or wrong, and whether for him she doth not now think long. Then to other friends I have a message or tway, and then so to return and meet him on the way. Now will I go knock, that I may dispatch with speed. But lo, forth cometh herself happily indeed.
I come to see if any more stirring be here. But what stranger is this, which doth to me appear?
I will speak to her. Dame, the Lord you save and me and see.
Oh, what friend, Sim Suresby! Oh, forsooth, right welcome ye be. How doth mine own Gowan Goodluck, I pray thee tell?
When he knoweth of your health, he will be perfect well.
Oh, if he have perfect health, I am as I would be.
Such news will please him well. This is as it should be.
I think now long for him.
And he is long for you.
When will he be at home?
His heart is in here now, his body cometh after.
Oh, I would see that fain.
As fast as wind and sail can carry it again. But what two men are coming hither?
Now I shrew their best Christmas cheeks both togetherward. What mean these lewd fellows thus to trouble me still? Suresby here, perchance, shall thereof deem some ill, and shall suspect in me some naughtiness, and they come hitherward.
What is their business?
I have naught to them, nor they to me in sadness.
Let us hearken them. Somewhat there is, I fear it.
I will speak out aloud best, that she may hear it.
Nay, alas, ye may so fear her out of her wit.
By the cross of my sword, I will hurt her no whit.
Will you do no harm indeed? Shall I trust your word?
By Roister Doister's faith, I will speak but in board.
Let us hearken them. Somewhat there is, I fear it.
I will speak out aloud. I care not who hear it. Sirs, see that my harness, my target, and my shield be made as bright now as when I was last in field, as white as I should to war again tomorrow, for sick shall I be, but I work some folks' sorrow. Therefore see that all shine as bright as St. George, or as doth a key newly come from the smith's forge. I would have my sword and harness to shine so bright that I might therewith dim mine enemy's sight. I would have it cast beams as fast, I tell you plain, as doth the glittering grass after a shower of rain. And see that, in case I should need to come into arming, all things may be ready at a minute's warning. For such chance may chance in an hour. Do you hear?
As perchance shall not chance again in 7 year.
Now, draw you near to her and hear what shall be said.
But I would not have you make her too much afraid.
Well found, sweet wife. I trust for all this your sour look.
Wife? Why call ye me me wife?
Wife, this gear goeth a crook.
Nay, Mistress Constance, I warrant you our letter is not as we read it now, but much better. And where ye have stomached this gentleman afore, for this same letter you will love him now, therefore. Nor is it not this letter, though you were a queen, that should break marriage between you twain, I ween.
I did not refuse him for the letter's sake.
Then ye are content me for your husband to take?
You? For my husband to take? Nothing less truly.
Yea, say so, sweet spouse. Afore strangers, heartily.
And though I have here his letter of love with me, yet his rings and tokens he sent keep safe with ye.
A mischief take his tokens, and him, and thee too. Oh, but what prate I with fools? Have I naught else to do? Come in with me, Sims Suresby, to take some repast.
I must ere I drink, by your leave, go in all haste to a place or two with earnest letters of his.
Then come drink here with me.
I thank you.
Oh, do not miss, you shall have a token to your master with you.
No tokens this time, no mercy. God be with you.
Oh, surely this fellow misdeemeth some ill in me, which thing, God help, will go near but to spill me.
Yea, farewell, fellow, and tell thy master Goodluck that he cometh too late of this blossom to pluck. Let him keep him there still, or at leastwise make no haste. As for his labour hither, he shall spend in waste. His betters be in place now.
As long as it will hold.
I will be even with thee, thou beast, thou mayst be so bold.
Will ye have us then?
I will never have thee.
Then I will have you.
No, the devil shall have thee. I have gotten this hour more shame and harm by thee than all my life days can do me honesty.
Why now, may ye see what it cometh to in the end, to make a deadly foe of your most loving friend. And I was this letter, if you will hear it now.
I will hear none of it.
If faith would ravish you.
He hath stained my name forever, this is clear.
I can make all as well in an hour.
As 10 year. How say ye, will you have him?
No,
Will you take him?
I defy him.
At my word.
A shame take him. Waste no more wind, for it will never be.
This one fault with twain shall be mended. You shall see. Gentle Mistress Custance, now good Mistress Custance, honey Mistress Custance, now sweet Mistress Custance, golden Mistress Custance, now white Mistress Custance, silken Mistress Custance, now fair Mistress Custance.
Faith, rather than to marry with such a doltish lout, I would match myself with a beggar out of doubt.
Then I can say no more. To speed we are not like, except you rap out a rag of your rhetoric.
Speak not of winning me, for it shall never be so.
Oh, yes, dame, I will have you whether you will or no. I command you to love me. Wherefore should ye not? Is not my love to you chafing and burning hot?
To her, that's well said.
Shall I so break my brain? Shall I so break my brain to dote upon you and yet not love us again?
Well said yet.
Go to, thou goose.
I say, Kit Custance, in case ye will not haze, well, better yes, perchance.
Avaunt, Lousel, pick thee hence.
Well, sir, you perceive, for all your kind offer she will not you receive.
Oh, then a straw for her. And a straw for her again. She shall not be my wife. Would she never so fain? No, and though she would be at £10,000 cost.
Lo, dame, ye may see what an husband ye have lost.
Yea, no force, a jewel much better lost than found.
Ah, you will not believe how this doth my heart wound. How should a marriage between you be toward if both parties draw back and become so froward?
Nay, dame, I will fire thee out of thy sty and destroy thee and all thine, and that by and by.
Nay, for the passion of God, sir, do not so.
Yes, except she will say yea to that she said no.
And what, be there no officers, trow we, in town, to check idle loiterers bragging up and down? Where be they, by whom vagabonds should be repressed, that poor silly widows might live in peace and rest? Shall I never rid thee out of my company? I will call for help. What ho, come forth, Truepenny.
Anon! What is your will, mistress? Did you call me?
Yea, go, run apace, and as fast as may be, pray, Trusty, my most assured friend, to be here by and by, that he may me defend.
That message so quickly shall be done by God's grace. Till I return, ye shall say, I went apace.
Then we shall see, I trow, whether you shall do me harm.
Yes, in faith, Kit, I shall thee and thine so charm that all women incarnate by thee may be aware.
Nay, as for charming me, come hither if thou dare. I shall clout thee till thou stink, both thee and thy train, and coil thee mine own hands and send thee home again.
Oh, yea, say'st thou me that, dame? Dost thou me threaten? Go we, I will see whether I shall be beaten.
Nay, for the passion of God, let me now treat peace. What bloodshed will there be in case this strife increase? Ah, good Dame Custance, take better way with you.
Let him do his worst.
Yield in time.
Come hence, thou.
So, sirrah, if I should not with him take this way, I should not be rid of him, I think, till doomsday. I will call forth my folks, that without any mocks, if he come again, we may give him raps and knocks. Madge Mumblecrust, come forth. And Tibet, talk apace, yea, and come forth too, Mistress Annot Alyface.
I come.
And I'm here.
And I am here too, at length.
Like warriors, if need be, ye must show your strength. The man that this day hath thus beguiled you is Ralph Roister Doister, whom you know well enough, the most lout and dastard that ever on ground trod.
I see all folk mock him when he goeth abroad.
What, pretty maid, will you talk while I speak?
No, forsooth, good mistress.
Will you my tale break? He threateneth to come hither with all his force to fight. I charge you, if he come, on him with all your might.
I with my distaff will reach him one rap.
And I, with my new broom, will sweep him one swap, and then with our great club I will reach him one rap.
And I with our skimmer will fling him one flap.
And then Truepenny's fire fork will him shrewdly fray, and you with the spit may drive him quite away.
Go, make all ready, that it may be e'en so.
For my part, I shrew them that last about it go.
Truepenny did promise me to run a great pace, my friend Trusty to fet into this place. Indeed, he dwelleth hence a good start, I confess. But yet a quick messenger might twice since, as I guess, have gone and come again. Ah, yonder I spy him now.
We cannot hear you.
Sorry. You're a slow goer, sir. I make God a vow. My mistress Custance will in me put all the blame. Your legs be longer than mine. Come apace, for shame.
I can thee thank, Truepenny, thou hast done right well.
Mistress, since I went, no grass has grown on my heel, but Master Trusty here maketh no speed.
That he came at all, I thank him in very deed, for now I have need of the help of some wise man.
Then may I be gone again, for none such I am.
You may by your going, but no older man can go, I dare say, a sadder pace than ye can.
Truepenny, get thee in. Thou shalt among them know how to use thyself like a proper man, I trow.
I go.
Now, Trusty, I thank you right much, for at my first sending to come ye never grutch.
Dame Custance, God ye save, and while my life shall last, for my friend Goodluck's sake, ye shall not send in waste.
He shall give you thanks.
I will do much for his sake.
Oh, but alack, I feared great displeasure shall he take.
Wherefore?
Oh, for a foolish matter.
What is your cause?
I am ill encumbered with a couple of doors.
Nay, weep not, woman, but tell me what your cause is. As concerning my friend, is anything amiss?
No, not on my part, but here was Sim Suresby.
He was with me, and told me so.
And he stood by, while Ralph Roister Doister, with help of Merrygreek, for promise of marriage, did unto me seek.
And had you made any promise before them twain?
No, I had rather be torn in pieces and slain. No man hath my faith and troth but Gawain Goodluck, and that before Suresby did I say, and there stuck. But of certain letters there were such words spoken.
He told me that too.
And of a ring and token that Suresby I spied did more than half suspect that I my faith to Gavin Goodluck did reject.
But was there no such matter, Dame Custance, indeed?
Oh, if ever my head thought it, God send me ill speed. Wherefore, I beseech you, with me to be a witness, that in all my life I never intended thing less. And what a brain-sick fool Ralph Roister Doister is, yourself knows well enough.
Yet, say full true, Lois.
Because to be his wife I ne grant nor apply, hither will he come, he sweareth, by and by, to kill both me and mine, and beat down my house flat. Therefore I pray your aid.
I warrant you that.
Have I so many years lived a sober life, and showed myself honest, maid, widow, and wife, and now to be abused in such a vile sort, to see how poor widow live all void of comfort?
I warrant him do you no harm nor wrong at all.
No, but Matthew Merrygreek doth me most appall, that he would join himself with such a wretched lout.
He doth it for jest, I know him out of doubt. And here cometh Merrygreek.
Then shall we hear his mind?
Custance and Trusty both, I do you here well find.
Ah, Matthew Merrygreek, ye have used me well.
Now for altogether, you must your answer tell. Will you have this man, woman? Or else will you not? Else he will come, never bore so brim, nor toast so hot.
But why join you with him?
For mirth?
Or else in sadness?
The more fond of you both, heartily the matter guess.
Lo, how say ye, Dame?
Why do you think, Dame Custance, that in this wooing I have meant aught but pastance?
Much things ye spake, I wot, to maintain his dotage.
But well you might ye judge, I spake it all in mockage. For why is Roister Doister a fit husband for you?
I dare say never thought it.
No, to God I vow. And did I not know afore of the insurance between Gowan Goodluck and Christian Custance? And did I not, for the nonce, by my conveyance, read his letter in a wrong sense for dalliance? That if you could have taken up at the first bound, we should thereat have such a sport and pastime found, that all the whole town should have been the merrier.
Ill ache your heads both. I was never wearier, nor never more vexed since the first day I was born.
Very well, I wist. He here did all in scorn.
But I feared thereof to take dishonesty.
They should have both made sport and showed your honesty. Good luck, I dare swear, your wit therein would allow.
Yea, being no worse than we know it to be now.
Nothing yet too late, for when I come to him, hither will he repair with a sheep's look full grim by plain force and violence to drive you to yield.
If ye two bid me, we will with him pitch a field, I and my maids together.
Let us see, be bold.
Ye shall see women's war.
That fight will I behold.
If occasion serve, taking his part full brim, I will strike at you, but the rap shall light on him. When we first appear,
Then will I run away as though I were afeard.
Do you that part well play, and I will sue for peace.
and I will send him on. Then he will look as fierce as a cotsled lion.
But when goest thou for him?
That I do very now.
Ye shall find us here.
God have mercy on you.
There is no cause for fear. The least boy in the street.
Nay, the least girl I have will make him take his feet. But hark, methink they make preparation.
No force, it will be a good recreation.
I will stand within and step forth speedily, and so make as though I ran away dreadfully.
Now, sirs, keep your ray and see your hearts be stout. Oh, but where be these caitiffs? Methink they dare not rout. How sayest thou, Merrygreek? What doth Kit Custance say?
I am loath to tell you.
Speak, man. Yea or nay?
Forsooth, sir, I have spoken for you all that I can. But if you win her, you must e'en play the man. In to fight it out, you must a man's heart take.
Yea, they shall know, as thou knowest, I have a stomach.
A stomach, quoth you? Yea, as good as e'er man had.
I trow they shall find and feel that I am a lad.
By this cross I have seen you eat your meat as well as any that I have ever seen of or heard tell. A stomach, quoth you? He that will that deny, I know, was never a dinner in your company.
Nay, the stomach of a man it is that I mean.
Nay, the stomach of an horse or dog, I ween.
Nay, a man's stomach, with a weapon, mean I.
10 men can scarce match you with a spoon in a pie.
Nay, the stomach of a man to try in strife.
I never saw your stomach cloyed yet in my life.
Tush, I mean in strife or fighting to try.
We shall see how you will strike now, being angry.
Oh, have at thy pate then, and save thy head, if thou may.
Nay, have it your pate again. by this day.
Nay, thou mayst not strike at me again in no wise.
I cannot in fight make to you such warranties. As for your foes, here let them the bargain buy.
Nay, as for that, they shall every mother's child die. And in this my fume a little thing might make me to beat down house and all, or else the devil take me.
If I were as ye be, by Gog's dear mother, I would leave not one stone upon another, though she would redeem it with 20,000 pounds.
Which shall be even so by his lily wounds.
Be not at one with her upon any amends.
No, though she make to me never so many friends, not if all the world for her would undertake, no, not God himself neither shall not her peace make. On, therefore, march forward. Soft. Stay a while yet. Tarry.
Forth!
No, back.
On!
Soft. Now, forward set.
What business have we here? Oh, alas, alas.
Didst thou see that, Merrygreek? How afraid she was. Didst thou see how she fled apace out of my sight? Oh, good sweet Custance. I pity her by this light.
That tender heart of yours will mar altogether. Thus will ye be turned with whacking of a feather.
On, sirs, keep your ray.
On forth while this gear is hot.
Oh, soft. Oh, the arms of Calais. I have one thing forgot.
What lack we now?
Retire, or else we'll be all slain.
Back for the pact of God! Back, sirs, back again!
What is the great matter? Well, this hasty forthgoing hath almost brought us to all to utter undoing. They made me forget a thing most necessary.
Well remembered of a captain, by Saint Mary.
'Tis a thing must be had.
Let us have it then.
But I wot not where or how.
Then I wot not I when. But what is it?
The chief thing I am to seek.
Not so will ye be when ye have studied a week. But tell me, what is it?
I lack yet a headpiece.
The kitchen colloque have it, the best hens to grease. Run, fet it, Dominate, and come at once with all, and bring with me my pot gun hanging by the wall. I have seen your head with it full many a time, covered as safe as it had been with a scrine. And I warrant it save your head from any stroke, except perhaps to be amazed with the smoke. I warrant your head therewith, except for the mist, as safe as if it were fast locked up in a chest, and lo, here our Dominate cometh with it now.
They will cover me to the shoulders well enough.
Let me see on it. Let me see it on.
In faith, it doth meetly well.
There can be no fitter thing. Now you must tell us what to do.
Now forth in racers, and stop no more.
Now, St. George tomorrow, drum-a-dub-dub before.
What mean you do, sir? Commit manslaughter?
To kill 40 such as a matter of laughter.
And who is it, sir, whom you intend thus to spill?
Oh, foolish Custance here forceth me against my will.
And is there no mean your extreme wrath to slake? She shall some amends unto your good mischief make.
I will none amends.
Is her offence so sore?
And he were allowed she could have done no more. She hath called him a fool, and dressed him like a fool, mocked him like a fool, used him like a fool.
Well, yet the sheriff, the justice, or constable, her misdemeanor to punish might be able.
No, sir, I mine own self will, in this present cause, be sheriff and justice, and whole judge of the laws. This matter to amend all officers shall be I shall. Constable, bailiff, sergeant.
And hangman and all.
Yet a noble courage and the heart of a man should more honor win by bearing with a woman. Therefore take the law and let her answer thereto.
Merrygreek, the best way were even so to do. What honour should it be with a woman to fight?
And what then? Will ye thus forego and lose your right?
Nay, I will take the law on her withouten grace.
Or, if your master could pardon this one trespass, I pray you forgive her.
Hush, hush, sir, do not.
Be good master to her.
Co.
Tush, I say do not. And what shall your people here return straight home?
Yea, levy the camp, sirs, and hence again each one. But be still in readiness if I hap to call. I cannot tell what sudden chance may befall.
Do not off your harness, sirs, I you advise. At the least for this fortnight. In no manner wise, perchance in an hour when all ye think least our master's appetite to fight will be best. But soft, ere ye go, have once at Custance house.
Soft, what wilt thou do?
Once discharge my arquebus, for my heart's ease, have once more with my pot gun.
Hold thy hands, else is all our purpose clean fordone.
And it cost me my life.
I say thou shalt not.
By the mat, but I will have once more with hail shot. I will have some pennyworth, I will not lease all.
What caitiffs are those that so shake my house wall?
Sirrah, now, Custance, if ye had so much wit, I would see ye ask pardon and yourselves submit.
Have I still this ado with a couple of fools?
Hear ye what she saith.
Maidens, come forth with your tools. In array!
Dub-a-dub, sirrah!
In array! Oh, they come suddenly upon us!
Dub-a-dub-dub!
In array! That ever I was born, we are taken tardy!
Now, sirs, quit yourselves like tall men and hardy!
Honour for Truepenny, hold thine own, Annot. On toward them, Tibet, for scape as they cannot. Come forth, Madge Mumblecrust. So, stand forth together.
God send us a fair day.
See, they march on hither.
Mistress,
What sayest thou?
shall I go fetch our goose?
What to do?
To yonder captain, I will turn her loose, and she gape and hiss at him as she doth at me. I durst jeopard my hand, she will make him flee.
On, forward.
There, they come.
Stand!
Hold!
Keep!
There!
Strike!
Take heed!
Well said, Truepenny.
Orphans!
Well done indeed.
Hold thine own, Harpax! Down with them, Dominet!
Now, Madge, there, Annot. Now stick them, Tibet.
Oh, my chief quarrel is to this same little knave that beguiled me last day. Nothing shall him save.
Down with this little queen that hath at me such spite. Save you from her, master. It is a very sprite.
I myself will, Monsieur Grand Capitaine, undertake.
Ooh, they win ground.
Save yourself, sir, for God's sake!
Out, alas! I am slain! Help! Alas!
Nay then, have at you, mistress.
Oh, thou hittest me!
So I will. Nay, Mistress Custance.
Oh, alas! Thou hittest me still, hold!
Save yourself, sir.
Oh, help! Out, alas! I am slain!
Truce. Truce, hold your hands. Truce, for a pissing while or twain. Now, how say you, Custance, for saving of your life, will ye yield and grant to be this gentleman's wife?
You told me he loved me. Call you this love?
He loved a while, even like a turtle dove.
Gay love, God save it. So soon hot, so soon cold.
I am sorry for you. He could love you yet, so he could.
Nay, by cock's precious, she shall be none of mine.
Why so?
Oh, come away. By the match, she is mankind. I durst adventure the loss of my right hand if she did not slay her other husband. And see if she prepare not again to fight.
What then? St. George to borrow? Our Lady's knight?
Oh, slay else whom she will. By cog, she shall not slay me.
How then?
Oh, rather than to be slain, I will flee.
To it again, my knightesses, down with them all.
Away, away, away! She will kill us all.
Nay, stick to it like a hardy man and a tall.
Oh, Bones, thou hittest me! Away, or else die we shall.
Away, away for the pash of our sweet Lord Jesus Christ.
Away, lout and lubber, or I shall be thy priest. So, this field is ours. We have driven them all away.
Thanks to God, mistress, ye have had a fair day.
Well, now go ye in and make yourself some good cheer.
We go.
Go.
Ah, sir, what a field we have had here.
Friend Tristram, I pray you be a witness with me.
Dame Custance, I shall depose you of your honesty, and now fare ye well, except something else you would.
Not now, but when I need to send, I will be bold. Thank you for these pains. And now I will get me in. Now Roister Doister will no more wooing begin.
Sim Suresby, my trusty man, now advise thee well, and see that no false surmises thou me tell. Was there such ado about Custance, of a truth?
The report that I heard and saw to me is Ruth, but both my duty and name and property warranteth me to show to you to show fidelity. It may well be well enough, and I wish so it be, she may herself discharge and try her honesty. Yet that claim to her, methought, was very large, for with letters, rings, and tokens they did her charge, which when I heard and saw, I would none to you bring.
No, by Saint Mary, I allow thee in that thing. Ah, sirrah, now I see truth in the proverb old. All things that shineth is not by and by pure gold. If any do live, a woman of honesty, I would have sworn Christian Custance had been she.
Sir, though I to you be a servant true and just, yet do not ye therefore your faithful spouse mistrust, but examine the matter, and if ye shall it find to be all well, be not ye for my words unkind.
I shall do that is right, and as I see cause why. But here cometh Custance forth. We shall know by and by.
I come forth to see and hearken for news good. For about this hour is the time of likelihood that Gowing Goodluck, by the sayings of Suresby, would be at home. Oh, and lo, yond I see him, aye. What, Gowing Goodluck, the only hope of my life, welcome home. And kiss me, your true espoused wife.
Nay, soft Dame Custance, I must first, by your license, see whether all things be clear in your conscience. I hear of your doings to me very strange.
What? Fear ye that my faith towards you should change?
I must needs mistrust you to be elsewhere entangled. For I hear that certain men with you have wrangled about the promise of marriage by you to them made.
Could any man's report therein your mind persuade?
Well, you must therein declare yourself to stand clear, else I and you, Dame Custance, may not join this year.
Then would I were dead and fair laid in my grave. Ah, Suresby, is this the honesty that thou have, to hurt me with your report, not knowing the thing?
Sorry, my script is misbehaving. If ye be honest, my words can hurt you nothing, but what I heard and saw I might not but report.
Ah, Lord, help poor widows destitute of comfort. Truly, most dear spouse, none was done but for pastance.
But such kind of sporting is homely dalliance.
If ye knew the truth, ye would take all in good part.
By your leave, I'm not half well skilled in that art.
It was none but Roister Doister, that foolish mome.
Yea, Custance, better, they say, a bad excuse than none.
Why, Tristram Trusty, sir, your true and faithful friend, was privy both to the beginning and the end. Let him be the judge, and for me testify.
I will the more credit that he shall verify. And because I will know the truth, even as it is, I will to him myself, and know all without miss. Come on, Suresby, that before my friends thou may avouch thee the same words which thou didst to me say.
O Lord, how necessary it is now of days that each body live uprightly all manner ways. For let never so little a gap be open, and be sure of this, the worst shall be spoken. How innocent stand I in this for deed or thought, and yet see what mistrust towards me it hath wrought. But thou, Lord, knowest all folks' thoughts and eke intents, and thou art the deliverer of all innocence. Thou didst help the avoutress that she might be amended. Much more then help, Lord, that never ill intended. Thou didst help Susanna, wrongfully accused, and no less dost thou see, Lord, how I am now abused. Thou didst help Hester when she should have died. Help also, good Lord, that my truth may be tried. Yet if Gowan Goodluck with Tristram Trusty speak, I trust of ill report the force shall be but weak. And lo, yond they come, sadly talking together. I will abide and not shrink for their coming hither.
And was it none other than you to me report?
No, and here where you wish to have seen the sport.
Would I had rather than half that in my purse.
And I do much rejoice the matter was no worse, and like as to open it, I was to you faithful. So of Dame Custance, honest truth, I am joyful. For God forfend that I should hurt her by false report.
Well, I will no longer hold her in discomfort.
Now come they hitherward. I trust all shall be well.
Sweet Custance, neither heart can think nor tongue can tell how much I joy in your constant fidelity. Come now, kiss me, the pearl of perfect honesty.
God let me no longer to continue in life, then I shall towards you continue a true wife.
Well, now to make you for this some part of amends, I shall desire first you, and then such of our friends as shall to you seem best, to sup at home with me, where at your fought field we shall laugh and merry be.
And mistress, I beseech you, take with me no grief. I did the true man's part, not wishing a reprieve.
Though hasty reports through surmises growing may of poor innocence be utter overthrowing, yet because to thy master thou hast a true heart, and I know mine own truth, I forgive thee for my part.
Go we all to my house, and of this gear no more. Go, prepare all things, Suresby. Hence, run afore.
I go.
Good. But who cometh yond? Master Merrygreek?
Roister Doister's champion, I shrew his best cheek.
Roister Doister's self, your wooer, is with him too. Surely something there is with us they have to do.
Yonder I see Gavin Goodluck, to whom lieth my message. I will first salute him after his long voyage, and then make all things well concerning your behalf.
Yea, for the pash of God.
Hence out of sight, ye calf, till I have spoken with them, and then I will you fed.
In God's name.
What, Master Gavin Goodluck, well met, and from your long voyage I bid you right welcome home.
I thank you.
I come to you from an honest mome.
Who is that?
Roister Doister, that doughty kite.
Fie, I can scarce abide you should his name recite.
You must take him to favour and pardon all past. He heareth of your return and is full ill aghast.
I am right well content. Ye have with us some cheer.
Fie upon him, beast. Then will not I be there.
Why, Custance, do you hate him more than you love me?
But for your mind, sir, where he were, would I not be.
He would make us all laugh.
You ne'er had better sport.
I pray you, sweet Custance, let him to us resort.
To your will I assent.
Why, such a fool it is, as no man for good pastime would forego or miss.
Fet him to go with us.
He will be a glad man.
We must, to make us mirth, maintain him all we can. And lo, yond he cometh, and Merrygreek with him.
At his first entrance ye shall see I will him trim. But first let us hearken the gentleman's wise talk.
I pray you mark, if ever ye saw crane so stalk.
May I then be bold?
Warrant you on my word. They say they shall be sick, but ye be at their board.
They were not angry then?
Yes, at first, and made strange, but when I said your anger to favor should change, and therewith had commended you accordingly, they were all in love with your mastership by and by, and cried you mercy that they had done you wrong.
For why? No man, woman, nor child can hate me long.
We fear, quoth they, he will be avenged one day. Then for a penny give all our lives we may.
Said they so indeed?
They, yea, even with one voice. He will forgive all, quote I. Oh, how they did rejoice. Go fed him, say they, while he is in good mood. Or have his anger who lost, we will not by the rude.
I pray God that it be all true, that thou hast me told, and that she fight no more.
I warrant you, be bold to them and salute them.
Sirs, I greet you all well.
Your mastership is welcome.
Saving my quarrel, for sure I will put you up into the exchequer.
Why so? A better nay? Wherefore?
For an usurer.
I am no usurer, good mistress, by his arms.
When took he gain of money to any man's harms?
Yes, a foul usurer he is, ye shall see else.
Didst not thou promise she would pick no more quarrels?
He will lend no blows, but he have in recompense 15 for 1, which is too much of conscience.
Oh, dame, by the ancient law of arms, a man hath no honour to foil his hands on a woman.
And where other usurers take their gains yearly, this man is angry, but he have his by and by.
Sir, do not for her sake bear me your displeasure.
Well, he shall with you talk thereof more at leisure. Upon your good usage, he will now shake your hand.
And much heartily welcome from a strange land.
Be not afeard, Gavin, to let him shake your fist.
The most honest gentleman that e'er I wist. I do beseech your mastership to take pain to sup with us.
He shall not say you nay, and I too, by Jesus, because he shall be friends, and let all quarrels pass.
I will be as good friends with them as e'er I was.
Then let me fetch your choir that we may have a song.
Go!
I've heard no melody all this year long.
Come on, sirs, quickly.
Oh, sing on, sirs, for my friend's sake.
Hold these your friends.
Sing on, and no more words make.
La la la.
The Lord preserve our most noble queen of renown, and her virtues reward with the heavenly crown.
The Lord strengthen her most excellent majesty, long to reign over us in all prosperity.
That her goodly proceedings, the faith to defend, he may establish and maintain through to the end. Oops, sorry, not my line.
God grant her, as she doth, the gospel to protect, learning and virtue to advance, and vice to correct.
God grant her loving subjects both the mind and grace, her most godly proceedings worthily to embrace.
Her Highness, most worthy counsellors, God prosper, with honour and love all men to minister.
God
God
grant nobility to serve and love,
with
all the commonalty, as doth them behove.
Amen.
Thus endeth the play. This is such a weird play. No, it's fun. It's fun to do, but yeah, it's like
It is a very silly play.
it's yeah.
But it's so pleasurably silly. There's all of this
Yeah.
fabulous business in it that you could unpick. And it just,
I love it because it's so. I was saying this, but I think it was after we stopped recording at the end of the last session. It's so often comedies of this era or slightly later are so toxic, and this one just isn't, because all the toxicity is like the joke. The fact that you've got all this macho swaggering misogyny going on. That's actually the joke. That's what they're taking the mickey out of. So it's just kind of glorious, and it is silly, but I just kind of love it.
Yeah.
I love the
Constance is
inner
so
rhythm, the
self-possessed
speed of
and,
it
like,
all.
Yeah.
Sorry, two of you were
Sorry,
speaking.
yeah, you were talking at the same
Sorry.
time.
I'd love to hear what both of you were trying to say.
Separately.
Oh, well, I was just saying I just love the rhythm and the speed of it and the sort of music under it all. It's really exacting for the actor to read, but that's exciting, isn't it?
Alan?
What?
Oh, sorry.
What
Yeah.
was Lynn? What was Lynn saying?
What was
Oh,
Lynn's comment?
Oh, I was just saying that that Constance, as her name implies, I mean, she's just so self-possessed.
Yeah.
So it's just like, get out of my face. She doesn't she's concerned about her reputation, but she's really grounded, and I like that about her, that she's not funny, but she's the foil for that.
Oh, I thought she was very funny. I was laughing at a lot of her lines because they're undercutting lines, aren't they?
Yeah, she's very funny about usury and Roister Doister giving one blow and receiving 15. That's a really funny joke.
She does start to make jokes there at the end.
Yeah. No, and I think the way she treats her servants is kind of interesting, strict but not nasty. She doesn't have them beaten. She just bawls them out.
Yeah, they were.
Alan, then Aliki, I think.
I'm just wondering that the whole thing, particularly this second part we've done, has got so much a pantomime feel to it, both in terms of the comedy violence and also in the appalling double rhymes, which keep running through. I mean, you could see this staged in a modern pantomime type manner.
Yeah. Aliki.
Well, I like that, but you'd have to keep that sense of Constance being, undercutting the extravagance of the other characters, because it works so well. I listened to the first looks recently, so I'm aware that you guys were talking then about it being sort of a mashup between one of the Vice's plays and comedy. And you can really see that in the names with these, in Merrygreek's enjoyment of pure mischief, which is very like some of the Vice characters. And in also these names, I've forgotten some of them, but Christian Constance, of course she's constant, right? It's right there. But also the servants, which have these kind of fabulously evocative names, like Madge Mumblecrust. You can see she's got no teeth, so she's with the crust all the time. Alyface, who sits in the alley, presumably. I kept thinking, well, anyway, I just so much fun to be had with this, and much more human than any of the Vices, despite that enjoyment of ridiculousness. Everybody kind of feels real.
But I feel like on Zoom, it doesn't quite, it doesn't convey quite how funny it is, because you've got that, the battle scene is that thing of go ahead, Roister Doister goes forward, and then Merrygreek goes back, and then Merrygreek goes forward, and then there's that
really
tug of war thing.
Yeah, you really have to workshop the physicality and get it bang on. But this could be so funny on a modern stage, so funny.
Sarah, I think, and then Kyle.
Yeah, I was just interested in what Alan said about it being a bit like a panto, because I really didn't find that at all. And I'm just trying to think now, why? Because he's, Alan, you're right. In terms of it's larger than life and twice as silly. It's full of songs. It's full of all this hilarious, physical comedy that, like Aliki just said, you'd have to choreograph within an inch of its life so that it was super funny. So it does have all the elements, but to me, it doesn't really read like a panto. And I think it's got something to do with maybe just the themes of it. it's quite a sophisticated story, weirdly, I think, in spite of the fact it's so silly and so nonsensical. At heart, you've got basically the story of this braggart who is really kind of, he's fairly harmless, but he's deeply unpleasant. He's not nefarious in that he's not actually going to do anyone any harm, simply because he's such a coward and he's so incapable. But that doesn't mean that he isn't actually, quite ghastly in many ways. And the fact that you have this amazing woman who is just like, yeah, no, I'm not having any of this. And then you've got this kind of trickster guy who's kind of winding everyone up and then sitting back and watching it all and going, ah. I mean, there are actually a lot of parallels with modern life. You could put the whole thing, not that I suggest we do this, because it would be a waste of all that glorious physical comedy, but you could actually put the whole thing online and do it as like a troll, an online troll, with then someone winding him up, attacking some various desirable female stars have to deal with this all the time on Twitter or X or whatever that platform is called by the time this video actually comes out. There's this thing of like this toxic masculinity, this kind of, and how you deal with that, and how you kind of, how she stays so kind of solid within herself and grounded. Someone used the word grounded. I think it was Lynn, and just kind of comes through it all, and then the comedy of seeing this kind of bully, really, but this absolute troll. I mean, he's a total troll in the modern sense of this world. Just be humiliated and sent packing. I think there's a really satisfying psychology to that story that kind of rings really true for a modern audience, and that really it's a simple story, but that doesn't mean that the themes aren't actually handled really well and in quite a sort of subtle and knowing way, in spite of the fact that it is so silly. There's kind of a sort of depth that underpins it, I think.
Well, if you're going to make the modern comparison, I mean, Custance does come fairly close to being publicly shamed. I mean, it doesn't happen, but it could. So to that extent, I mean, it does almost become serious, although you can't really believe that anything much is going to happen there.
Yeah, but I mean, sorry. No.
Sorry.
One second.
I don't know why the word feckless comes to mind with what you're saying, Sarah. The sort of fecklessness, and also sort of mixed with Don Quixote or something. It's this vanity of a man that's actually rather dangerous. Feckless men are dangerous, and they cause chaos.
And I do think the shaming is a real risk, actually. That gossip in small communities, just the fact of the gossip existing matters, whether it's true or not.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was going to, well, Sarah, then Kyle, then Lynn, then I think Lois or Alan. I'm not sure who had their hand. Yeah.
Yeah, if I could just come back on what Lois said and what Sarah's just said as well. I think, I think actually, depending on how you directed it, you could ramp up that level of danger or potential danger, potential threat in the public shaming. And I mean, again, if you compare it to a sort of modern day situation with people on social media, in the grand scheme of things, are the stakes that high? Probably not. No, not really. If somebody like gets on social media and starts slagging you off and having a go at you and publicly shaming you, and people start piling on, is that actually doing anything to you physically? Is it changing your life? No, it's not, because you're still there living your real life in your house with your friends or your family or whoever. But in terms of the emotional toll it takes on these people and what it does to their public reputation, it can be absolutely devastating. So I think they're given the strictures that were placed on women then, I think there would be some scope in production to kind of like raise the stakes with that potential for public shaming, and kind of make the like, you know, play it on a knife edge so that the audience are kind of, you know, they're finding Roister funny and not kind of taking him seriously, but then also there is this kind of slightly sickening undertone of like, yeah, this could all turn really nasty at any moment, and of course it doesn't. We know that now, but like, you maybe want your audience to think that perhaps it could go that way while they're actually watching the play.
I'm trying to remember the order now. Lynn, then Alan, then Lois, I think. If you remember the point.
Well, the plot is simple. The themes are there that you could play up that are actually much more serious. I mean, yeah, and I think the modern analogies that Sarah's been drawing are really apt. I read something on social media. A guy said he had a female platonic friend who was complaining about dating sites, and he's like, oh, it can't be that bad. So he set himself up a fake woman's profile, and he could stand it like 12 hours, and he deleted it because it was just so gross. Even though you're not being physically harmed and these people don't mean anything to you, it's just so gross. And in the time that this was written, the reason that Roister Doister is feckless, or one of the things that makes him feckless in practice as well as in temperament, is that he has no social standing. If you think about whatever it was, the Witch of Edmonton, where the knight impregnates Winifred and wants to keep, he gets away with it because he's an aristocrat, and Roister Doister is not. And if he were, this one might look really different. So, I mean, I don't think the play goes there, but that's the social reality at the time.
Kyle, then Alan. If you remember the point, because sorry.
Yeah, I didn't mean wait so long.
I was just thinking about the fact I just taught mankind, and I'm always thinking about this in terms of teaching and the kind of historical stuff that's going around it. I was just teaching mankind, and I wish that I had added this before the Renaissance, because it's a great transition from like you were saying, Aliki, the vice, and then this feels very like Plautus, and the braggart soldier. And I actually think that the strong female character of Custance as being like the straight man, and him being more bumbly. I mean, I know what you guys are saying with like him being kind of threatening too, but I also like the idea that he's bumbly and that he's kind of, that he kind of takes a back seat to her straight man kind of capability. And I wonder if they're in fact maybe even appealing to the queen, because she's there with this like kind of more capable female role. I don't know, I'm just thoughts.
Yeah, and at this point still very definitely on the marriage market, so that's there too.
Alan?
Yeah, my thoughts sort of link in with that a little bit, which one, I can't remember what the date of this piece is. I know it's fairly early in the period that we're normally dealing with. And the other question is, what sort of performance history did it have? Because that last half page or so almost reads like it was a court performance, with the real groveling, God save the Queen and all accounts and all the rest of it. But I don't have that information available to me. I don't know if anybody else has got that knowledge.
I'm thinking it must be Elizabeth, right? Because I mean, if it's Udall, then
it's of Elizabeth's period. The question is whether it was a court performance or designed for a court performance.
It seems like it with that ending.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was sort of traditional to end with a prayer for the Queen anyway. I mean, they're not always scripted in the play, but and I don't know how long that continued. I mean, I think it probably went on into James's reign, but prayers for the royal family and so on. Quite often, the epilogue ends with somebody kneeling down and praying.
I think in the first look, Rob was saying it was probably first performed around the end of Mary's reign and then published in Elizabeth's.
Something like that. Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, Sarah.
Yeah, I've just got this penguin here.
Ooh, that's
and
cheating, but cool.
Yeah, it says there seems to be a dispute, an argument. There is ample evidence for ascribing the play to Udall and a date between 1552 and 1553, and there is some doubt as to whether the Queen is Mary or Elizabeth.
Interesting, because I think of him as a Protestant, and so that's why I was kind of thinking it was Elizabeth, but maybe it's Mary. You know?
Yeah, because he's supposed to be the author of Res Publica as well, isn't he? Which actually is a Catholic play. So it's rather, but then I don't know, he may have well moved from one side to the other, since he seems to have been a slightly slippery character. But it gives the impression actually of being much more sophisticated than many later plays. I think that's partly because of the classical influence, but a lot of the humor is really very subtle. I mean, you know, a lot of the stuff that Merrygreek says to Ralph Roister Doister, obviously the audience is expected to pick up the irony, the double meaning, you know, the fact that he's often being very rude to Roister Doister, who of course doesn't get it. And then the depiction of a couple of what you could call really sort of straight people. I mean, that's really what Custance and Gavin Goodluck are, and people like Trusty and so on. They're just, you know, they're not comic characters, they're not villains, they're not types. They just seem to be ordinary people.
Yeah. Yeah, but then, well, I'm just thinking about the sort of what's it called, like what the thought we had earlier about it being sort of like a panto, but not quite. But then I think for like pantos are kind of different in that they're not. I don't know. They are quite different, aren't they? Just because they're this doesn't have really a subplot. It just has the one plot, which is why it actually works. It focuses everything on Ralph Roister Doister, and it just sort of doesn't deviate very much from embarrassing him in that sense. Whereas like sort of pantos, they have the subplots maybe, and they have, you know, the dame and all that stuff, whatever. Aside from like the stereotypes and stuff, but they kind of don't. They have the big sort of ensemble at the end. The villain gets punished, all that stuff. So it's a very different genre. I think this is just pure comedy, but not just for laughs. I feel. Susan.
Yeah, may I, as a wicked queen in your midst, say I don't think we should use that panto word. More commedia, definitely. I mean, this is so much more like clowning, you know, and you could almost do mask work with each of these different characters. I don't think panto at all. It brings it into a different arena. And there you are. Who's the fairest in the wall? But
you no, no. I mean,
yeah.
I'm practicing. It's fine.
It's so much fun playing Wicked Queen. Everybody should do it in their lifetime. Even you, Alan.
Lois, sorry.
Yeah.
Before we lose track, Lois.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is what's actually relevant to what you were just saying. It's what struck me. I mean, I was kind of surprised when there was this bit about notice the way he's stalking as Ralph Roister comes in for the last time. You know, he's being kind of shown off to Gavin and the others. You know, here is our comic character. Have a good laugh. But the stalking I thought was really interesting, because that is a type of walk that I think Edward Allen was known for. And there's a bit in, I think it's Poetaster, where a couple of child actors come in and they say they're going to do the Moor, meaning they're going to play a character from the Battle of Alcazar in the style of Edward Allen. And one, in fact, gets on the top of someone else's shoulders, and then somebody stalks in. So this, at any rate, suggests that there was a sort of a kind of caricature type of acting, that Roister Doister walked in a particular way, which was associated with Miller's Gloriosus types.
In Judy Dench's book, she talks about they talk about the ham actor. The what they're really talking about is the calf of the way that there was a way of walking in Elizabethan theatre that was to do with showing off your calf. And if you looked at RSC actors, and that we've seen that, haven't we, Sarah? And that might be talking about that ham acting.
Have we?
Well, you still see it sometimes in swashbuckling plays.
Yeah. No, I can totally imagine the actor playing Roister on stage, like, giving it all the calf, like having a pair of sexy breeches on, and like, showing off his calves. Yeah, totally.
Well, it's also that thing of, like, this is how actors stand with their legs apart and sort of, that's a different modern reference. Anyway, any other thoughts? Mark, we've not heard from you today, although you were only playing the one sort of good character.
I was playing kind of the boring guy who's super, worried about his love interest's chastity, but really not that worried. The conflict is very minimal in this. He's like, I'm kind of worried. Then he's like, okay, never mind. But yeah, I mean, there was some noting in the chat, I think by Aliki and Sarah Blake, about the syntax is just all over the place, and it feels more so to me than like other early modern plays that seem to stretch it for rhyme, where at least reading the script and not having like rehearsed this a bunch and then doing a performance, it's like it takes a lot of focus just to say the words in the intended order because they're not written in the best order. So yeah, I would say that's my main takeaway from this.
Yep. Lynn, you had a thought.
Yeah. I mean, the syntax is weird because the rhymes seem a little forced sometimes, but we've seen worse. We've seen worse. So yeah, this, I think you could smooth it out with rehearsal. It's there are worse. There was a translation of a Plautus or a Terence where it was like Yoda. You couldn't really make heads or tails.
It was like Google Translate tried to write a comedy and then back translated it into. No, I'm kidding, but yeah.
I remember that one. With sometimes like three of us would look at one sentence and we're still not sure what that means.
Yeah.
Where's the main verb? Where's the subject? No clue. Yeah.
Sarah, you were saying.
I do think that, it might not be the hardest. I don't remember that Plautus. I think I must have mercifully not been there for that one, unless I've just kind of wiped it from my memory. It might not be the most difficult one we've ever looked at, but it is pretty. I think I'm with Mark here. It is pretty tough. And I say this as someone who has narrated The Merry Jests of George Peele, which is just, oh my goodness! Like, you really have to have your teeth in for that, because it's just the syntax for that is all over the place. But this is right up there, but I think the combination of the really tricky syntax and then all the rampant rhyming, and talking of rampant rhyming, all the alliteration as well. I actually think once you'd rehearsed this, and you had your crack team of actors on the top of their game there, who were all like beautifully warmed up and had tongue twisted the life out of this thing, and so that they were all like totally on the syntax and on the rhyme by the time they got round to actually performing it in front of an audience. I think the fact that the syntax is so tricky would actually add to the joy of the performance when you had a bunch of actors who were just flying through it and able. I mean, we were not doing that today because I can't speak for anyone else, but some of us did not do any preparation, and so there was bound to be like some trips or stumbles or whatever. But once you've actually rehearsed this and it really well, and you can just patter through it, that's only going to add to the audience's joy. I think the fact that it is so tricky and yet the actors are able to just gallop through it with polish and panache. It's just going to make the play even more fun, I think. Add another layer to it.
I'm inclined to agree. Yeah, it's one of those plays. I mean, we've had worse syntax and all that stuff. So like syntax is not really. I mean, it is an issue, but it's just kind of getting the words out is important. And well, the double rhyme. I think it was Aliki who mentioned it earlier. Or maybe in the chat. I don't know. Sort of like the rhyme helps you remember the line, but it also means that if you flub it, it doesn't have the same ring. Like if you say like, yes, we're going towards, as opposed to like, I don't know, we're going over there, it won't rhyme with the next line. So it kind of kills it if you don't remember the rhyme in a way. I don't know. Any other thoughts before we, Alan? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the other problem with rhyming stuff from this period, with the vowel shift and so on, and pronunciation having altered significantly. Sometimes it looks as if it ought to rhyme from the spelling, but the way the words are pronounced these days, no, it doesn't.
This is true.
Yeah,
But you can have fun with. Sorry.
Yeah, so you have to decide whether you're going to mispronounce the second word to make it rhyme with the first, or you'll distort them both slightly so they rhyme, or you just don't pronounce them in modern pronunciation and 21st century pronunciation, and then just be kind of like, oh, well, I screwed that, and make a joke out of it. Yeah, you have to decide every single time that happens.
But that can be really enjoyable, You could make one person alter the second word, and then the next time they have an exchange, very determinedly, the other actor alters the first word. And
Yeah, it depends on whether you want the comic effect. I mean, I've certainly seen productions where someone has said things like, and I shall never die till I have set them all at enmity,
Yeah, that just sounds, yeah. Any other thoughts before we wrap up?
I want to know how they did the goose.
Well, like they did the goose in, I think it's The Life of Jack Straw, or one of the plays with the, or is it Georgia Green? I can't remember. Where there's a goose. Sarah's being attacked by a goose.
And they write about geese. Geese are evil.
Geese are evil. Having just seen a really hilarious production in Greece that had some animals on stage, I want a cardboard cutout of a goose with an actor walking across the stage going.
Would that go with your snail, Aliki?
Oh, that was paper mache. That took me weeks.
It had the right effect though, so I mean, yeah, it worked. But yeah, goose. I'm pretty sure there is another play with a goose. But I think in that play they actually kill the goose.
Yeah, it's Jack Straw.
Yeah.
That would really be the climax of the fight scene, wouldn't it? When suddenly this enormous goose appears cackling across the stage.
The goose's tragedy.
Yeah.
It is very, very tragic. Well, okay. On that note, if there are no other thoughts, and no other geese, I should probably thank these wonderful readers for their wonderful reading. And please join us next time for more Roister Doistering. Oh, Bones, thou hittest me!